What's up, gang? I apologize about the excessive tardiness, but you know, motherfucking technology. That's what you get sometimes. Let me read this copyright real quick. Whatever it says, fair use wins. Fuck your copyright. Kiss my ass. That's just a basic summary of it. Uh, Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to earn your viewership. Keep your viewership. I apologize if I seem a little bit, whatever. I got gel injections in the old knees today. If you've never had a gel injection, this one was my first. Uh, Basically, what they do is they provide. If you have any cartilage left in your knee and you take a gel injection, whatever cartilage that you have in your knee, it will be absorbed by it because it's naturally occurring in the body. The other thing it'll do is act as a shock absorber. So I got those shots today. The good thing about those shots is for some people, they prove to be very effective. And, you know, I'm optimistic. And if I could alleviate pain, I am going to do so because no one wants to be in pain. And generally, if you are tasked to do something that causes you pain, you're going to be more inclined to not want to do it because you're in pain. Pretty simple. But anyway, good thing about the shots is, like I said, people they swear by him and have had a lot of good things to say about him. The other thing about the shot is that's a positive is they last up to 6 months. So you're looking at, getting it twice a year. Now, the negative thing about the gel injections is that's a couple, different things. First off, they take 3 to 6 weeks to start to work. So it's not an immediate relief. Second, they are, when you're already in pain and you've got torn ligaments, I don't know, we'll see. Right now, the way they feel, there's a lot of pressure that's caused there because they're lubricating, being absorbed, and also supporting. And it all takes, like I said, 3 to 6 weeks for this process to take place. And it's supposed to last for up to 6 months now. We'll see how it goes. But I like to stay optimistic, and we'll see. But an immense amount of pressure, and when you've already got issues, another, disability in another leg, the knee in particular, extreme pain. So, I don't take the pain medication, painkillers. I don't ask for any of that shit. I don't want anything to do with it. Why? Because I'm not going to take something that could potentially end my life unless I'm under supervision, like at a hospital. I don't need to mess around with that. I've lost too many good friends. And, I'm not going to be a statistic. Another thing that I'm not going to be is a victim, nor am I going to tap out or quit. Not even close. I might be a little wary. The other the other drawback is, like I said, less cartilage, less effective they are, no cartilage or bone to bone, that they're pretty much worthless. They're not going to fix any torn ligaments, or they're not magic. And like I said, the other drawback, aside from that, like I said, the pressure is intense. And generally, you're, I'm not, I can't walk. Otherwise, I'd be at the studio that I've been at the last couple of weeks. But I thought I'd be able to boot this thing up. But then I guess after you haven't used it in a while, with all the updates, I just didn't plan accordingly. And no excuses. I just didn't plan accordingly. And I wasn't expecting to not be able to walk at all. So yeah, but I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful for it. And it, I don't want to say funny, but it's not funny because the uh, God bless her, she's a good woman that did the injection. She was very thorough. She was a young lady. She's going to be a great doctor because she actually cared. So the physicians that have actually treated me, and that I continue to see, my ortho, my pain management, and I have a new primary. She's great. Psychiatrist for my anxiety in order to be able to get my medication. So I'm very happy with all the care that I get from my care team now, and I'm very grateful for it. And blessed to be able to have them. But then there are some bad actors. I don't want to mention any names or get into it because I got enough going on without having to stir the pot even more. Though I did stir the pot a little bit today, but we'll see what happens. I'm entitled to an opinion just like anybody else, so I gave mine today. Yeah. You can't have an independent, impartial medical evaluation by an individual from the same practice as an individual that has performed surgery on you that didn't go so well. That in itself is a conflict of interest. So this letter I've been waiting on, or this piece of garbage that I'm going to burn, is useless. And no, the doctor, maybe he's a great surgeon, he's got good reviews, but he basically made up things that simply aren't true, like me not needing the additional medical help, like, stimulators or anything else, or the shots I got today. Yeah. Mind you, I'm permanently disabled. So, not to mention the fact that this so-called doctor has never even heard of CRPS, nor does he know what FND is. And yeah, bought, paid for, and be not worth it. I wouldn't be in any way moved to recommend anybody to him, and I'm not going to call him out. I've left my reviews for him, but that'll be more than enough. And if he doesn't like it, then I didn't like his opinion, which is basically a contradiction of everything that every practicing physician has come and the same conclusion with. Oops, sorry again. That was actually me grabbing a beverage. And I don't drink or do drugs. I'm like some kind of mad sport was suggesting that I allegedly, motherfucker, I haven't drank in 16 years, something like that. In 16 years, probably close to 17. This strawberry kiwi, 60 milligram Sunrise brand. I had the wife took me up this, that's got the THCV, give you a little bit of boost, a little bit of energy, but also suppresses appetite as well. So a little bit of benefit to everything I'm drinking them because they're effective and helping me manage pain and discomfort, along with ice and elevation. But you're not going to turn me into a junkie, you motherfuckers. Don't even think about that shit. It's crazy, you know. I was thinking the other day, I don't know what the show was about today. I forgot. I don't, I don't remember. I don't care right now. I just want to talk. And yeah, so kudos to all those professionals, those individuals that went into healthcare to help people, not to make money and then be able to have a price tag so they can be bought, paid for. It's pretty ingenious, but it's diabolical at the same time. Yeah, but that's a system we work in, forced to work in. But this, here's one for you. I was thinking about all the different things that I've seen since I've been around. I've been around since the Carter administration and born in the Soviet Union, which is a place that most people don't even know about because it doesn't exist anymore. No, it is no longer there, but you might know it better as Russia. So you want to call me Russian? I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But I was thinking about all the different messed up things that I've seen in, relative short time that I've been around, and it's pretty amazing. I'm talking about anything from 9/11, Ruby Ridge, Waco, Oklahoma City, Columbine, and the 10 million other school shootings or mass casualty events. Uh, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You got so much more. It's not even funny. Chernobyl, Katrina, shit. Clip this. I remember January 28th, 1986. It was a Tuesday. I remember this. It's also the birthday of one of my best friends who passed last year, less than a month after his birthday. Anyway, that's how I remember that date. I remember these things. But anyway, on that date, picture this. We're all sitting in a classroom. It's right before lunchtime. And teacher rolls in the TV on the big ass stands that they had, this big ass TV that weighed a lot. Motherfuckers are heavy. You need 3, 4, 5 people to you needed 2 people to move the cabinet or the rolling whatever the fuck it was, but the TV on top of it. It was the one person job unless you had some ass behind you. You can do the damn thing. But anyway, little old teachers, little old ladies, So we get this TV, they get this thing rolled in there. And I was 86, so I was 10 years old, 9 years old, roughly, something like that. And they pull the TV in, they plug it in, all watching the TV, everybody watching the TV, and the whole school's doing it. All the schools are doing it, and everybody in the school, in the classrooms, they're all watching the same thing. We're all watching the same thing. Watching things looking cool, everything looking good. Then all of a sudden, everything didn't look good. Don't it looked real bad, real nasty. And you're probably wondering, what am I even talking about? I am talking about what turned a lot of people into skeptics about us making it to the moon and back. I'm talking about when the Challenger blew up and we were forced to watch it on national television while at school. And then look at one another as children, and then look at the teacher who's looking back at us, trying to figure out what they're supposed to say, and they have no clue because, yeah, they weren't expecting that while it's being nationally televised. Yeah, so that's one thing. Yeah, just crazy. Yeah, I think that made a lot of people in my generation very skeptical. Like, yeah, we got to the moon, huh? Fucker, we didn't make it more than 2 minutes before that motherfucker blew up. And all those rest in peace that were on that new space shuttle. Talking about an O ring, that's what it was. They were talking about, I was an O ring. O ring? Bitch, are you crazy? Are you using rubber O rings on this motherfucker? And then you blame the weather and expansion and contraction of the O ring? You fucking retarded? You expect people to believe that shit? That you were using rubber O rings and you don't think they would melt with all the heat, etc., that built up during takeoff? Shut the fuck up. Sell that shit to somebody else. I don't want to hear that shit. Nonsense. Fucking O ring. Motherfuckers just fucked up. Cost people's lives in Colombia. Shit. During Katrina, I don't know if you know this, and I'll tell you, Katrina was so fucked up. I was in Vegas with all the all the Russians, all the homies, all the brothers, and we were there for a bachelor party. What was going on? We didn't plan on it. I remember watching it. We were in Vegas for 3 days, and every day, no help arrived. No help arrived. And the situation continued to get worse. And what's even more fucked up is when the Chernobyl nuclear event happened, they had 50,000 people evacuated the very next day. And over the course of the next several weeks and months, they had hundreds of thousands of people evacuated. The United States government, they were letting people die and indiscriminately killing people and letting people die. Mainly poor people that didn't have a way out, didn't get enough warning, and that didn't listen to the studies that were done and conducted of the levees not even being able to withstand a Category 3 hurricane if it were to happen. But who cares, right? I'm sure that the 8,000 inmates that were incarcerated behind bars and jail cells, a third of which had not been convicted of anything, so they were guilty of no crimes. They were just incarcerated. The corrections officers in those jails, they left their posts and positions and left those individuals locked up. No food, no water, other than the water that came in from the fucking Gulf, okay, and caused a flood. And then they try to tell you that nobody died. Okay, well, there's an argument that there were an estimated over 500 plus individuals unaccounted for, as they like to use their verbiage. It's all semantics. Yes, you're fucking retarded if you don't think that 8,000 people died, or 8,000 people that were left in a cage underwater with no food or water were perfectly fine for 4 days. Don't believe this stupid shit. If it sounds like fucking fiction, chances are it probably is. Or here's one, the Danziger Bridge. This is a real good one if you don't remember this. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. I was watching it. It's, you know what Katrina really did? It showed how little this country cares about people that don't have money, people that are in positions that they didn't ask to be in and they didn't necessarily put themselves in, people that have been forgotten by their country, people that simply don't matter to this United States. But the Danziger Bridge, what happened was there was allegedly reports of shooting towards police. So police responded, and what they did was they fired upon a group of four people in a family, killing a 17-year-old and injuring the other three, and then also killing a disabled and mentally challenged individual, and then made the whole thing up, said that they were under fire, under attack. Then they arrested the handicapped guy's brother and charged him with, I think it was 8 felonies, if I remember correctly. And then they planted a gun in evidence and lied about the whole thing. So this really happened. And George Bush, yeah, I don't think he likes black people. I don't think he really gives a shit about people in general, unless they're people with wealth and means. Once people have wealth, means, power, they are not going to relinquish it. That is not what they are going to do. They will never do that. If you don't understand that, like I said before, you got to get with the game because it hasn't changed. It's always been the same playbook. Policy will not change. The only thing that's going to change is whether or not anybody besides myself has had enough of this ridiculous mess and is finally going to take some action. And by action, I'm not referring to anything in way of violence or destruction, but I am a little bit concerned with the spending of our tax dollars going towards things that we did not ask for, such as data centers. And I don't know. I don't want the Chiefs in Kansas. I don't give a shit. I don't want to split the bill for a stadium that I'm not going to be able to get anything from because these are privately held companies, with the exception of the Green Bay Packers, which is a publicly held company, but the stock is not tradable, it's not sellable, and it's done because it was grandfathered in for the sole purpose of not ever losing the team. So, yeah. And you know why you can't have ownership in an NFL team? Why? Because the NFL wouldn't allow it. That's simple. You can own part of Ford, you can own part of Chevy, Dodge, Nissan, Mazda, whatever you fucking want. You want to own a sports franchise? Fuck no. Then greedy sons of bitches want all that money themselves and then charge you a super premium to be able to get to it. No, I'm not. I'm not that. Don't be boo boo the fool and get fooled into doing some shit that isn't going to pan out and work in your favor. If you know, I still encourage. I don't. I was going to show off tools. I was going to do all kinds of things, but today it's just not been that day. It's been that kind of day, like stay off my lawn, motherfucker, kind of day. You know what I mean? These fucking shots and then fucking idiot, fucking letter. I just, the way this system is set up and the way that we're doing things is so ass backwards. We're putting the carriage before the horse each and every fucking chance we get now. It's been going on for so long, it's not even funny. And at this point, it's got to be obscene. It's a kleptocrop. It's a kleptocracy. If you think about it, we went from the highest interest rate in 2022 and 2023 to right now back down to right around 3%. You would think that the goods and the cost of goods follow and trend the same way, but they haven't. And you know why? It's very simple. It's the same thing you want to say. It's what you're thinking. Greed. Why would they want to lower the price of something when they already know you're going to pay for whatever they ask? And then when you add dynamic pricing to the mix, guess what you're doing? You're just, being more of a consumer, but you don't have a choice necessarily. Unless you want to grow your own food and be a farmer and have cattle and livestock and, work harder than you probably ever have in your whole fucking life. And there's nothing wrong with that. I encourage you to do it, but it's not cheap and it's not easy. I mean, it's, we still need farmers. Farmers are very important. Anybody tell you differently, you just absolutely out of your mind. First responders, they're important. Police, they're necessary. I don't agree with their enforcement without, there's no way to enforce something without the use of force. And if you have the freedom to do so at your discretion, then you're going to use whatever discretion you feel necessary, and then use whatever excuse that you can to get out of any trouble that you may get into by simply saying, I was in fear of my life. Or saying that more fucked up shit. OJ, motherfucking Rodney King, the LA riots. What else? Iran Contra. Fucking Iran had the fucking hostage crisis. Reagan, the inauguration, they're letting the fucking hostages out because Bush made a deal. Well, that's right. Jordan H, not HW. Herbert, not Herbert Walker. CIA, George Bush, that same piece of shit. Yeah. Made a deal. Hardly didn't get reelected because of it. And Reagan won. And then who did he run against that next? He won big time in that election, and I believe the next election he went even more against was Mondale, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Walter Mondale. And yeah, he won all but maybe 2 states, I believe. That check call completely off the top of my head. But it was something crazy. Then he had the genius idea of Reaganomics. That worked out real well. That worked out so well, in fact, that well, I don't know if he actually believed this shit or not, because he got to be real fucking stupid to do it. And we just got over talking about how people would meet people in positions of power, people that run the show, they're not trying to share a piece, a slice of the pie. This trickle-down economics, Reaganomics as it's known, it was an absolute catastrophic fucking failure, and you're still seeing the results of it. The wealthy didn't decide to trickle down their wealth to middle class or lower class. No, not even close. What did happen is they saved a lot on taxes because they've been getting tax cuts. They were at, I believe, 70 or 70. I want to say it was 70% if you were making more than 5 million back in Reagan's first term. And since then, every president has continued to cut taxes for the wealthy. So the wealthy are going to continue to stay wealthy. Okay? The shareholders care about bottom line. They do not care about the product that they are trying to get you to buy. So, for instance, the CEO of Ford, for example, seems like a complete fucking idiot. The tool says he can work on a 72 Bronco, but you got to be some kind of rocket scientist to be able to work on this shit new Bronco. No, you don't. No. You can work on it. Maybe he can't work on it, but you know what you're doing. You could work on it. Are you able to program and do things? Sure, if you got the right equipment, absolutely. It's just not cheap. But it's things like that that just, like Tech Kaczynski, that motherfucker was like Nostradamus. He called it right. And I'm not encouraging you to fucking blow anybody up and make bombs. I'm not thinking that's a good idea. Don't do that. That's not what you want to do. Making things and destroying things aren't the same. But we are completely wasteful. I'll bring up Sears, that complex they built after the Sears Tower became, I believe, the right building. They were losing money left and right, hemorrhaging. They decided to build this giant complex in Illinois, headquarters now. And then no more Sears, headquarters, state of the art type stuff, abandoned, a lot of it left behind. Instead of repurposing it, it was demolished, tore down, and now it's going to be, guess what? You never guess. You never guess. Just guess what do you think it'll be? The biggest McDonald's in the world. No, it's going to be a fucking data center. So, yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of them. There's so many in certain places. There's Data Center Alley, and that's in the Appalachian, West Virginia area, if I'm not mistaken. There's quite a bit in Texas, and Governor Abbott has said something to the effect of not allowing any more, cutting it off. We'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of money behind that, a lot of power. Power, money, talk. They speak pretty loudly, volumes. They can move mountains. Politicians, they can make the mountain look like a molehill, where they can take the molehill and make it look into a mountain. They can make it smoke and mirrors. Seen it so many times. This thing locally, not being able to fund special education, which is consistent of in the state of Kansas, county of Johnson, children that have special needs or impairments, including deaf, blind, autistic, gifted. There's just a slew of them. So we cut spending on that. Say we don't have enough money in the budget. We're underfunded, but somehow, some way, you can build a practice facility and complex, not to mention an entire stadium, parking lot, and practice facility for a fucking sports team, and not even have any stake in it other than star bonds, which are borrowed money on the taxpayer. And if it doesn't pan out, like several other star bond projects happened, then guess who is the one left sitting there broke as shit? That's right, the taxpayer. The state of Kansas is one of the absolute most incompetent states that you could possibly be in. Have I lived in a lot of other states? Yeah, I've lived in a few. Have I traveled through enough states and know enough people in other states to determine that Kansas is not the best choice for individuals that value healthcare, common sense, being able to find work, a job, a gig, something that doesn't involve you using your own shit. When you were a taxi driver back in the day, you worked for Checker or Yellow Cab, you think you had to buy your own fucking cab? Fuck no. It's like being a technician, you gotta bring your own tools. What the fuck? Man, stop. The more I think about it, the crazier it is. That's like if you're a doctor, motherfucker, I hope you got your own x-ray machine. Shit, better have something so you can do an MRI. Oh no, you're a dentist. Hey, motherfucker, bring your dentist chair to work. What? No, bitch. Fuck you. You gonna be a nurse? All right, bring your hospital bed, motherfucker. No, that's not how it works. Being a mechanic is one of the only positions I can think of that you need your own shit all the time, which is cool. So that's fine. It comes out of your pocket. It's not like anybody's helping you pay for tools. That doesn't happen. The only one that's going to give you tools and not expect anything back is me. So fucking serious. And yeah, like my son, he was in this welding program. He's in a welding program. And he was telling me about all the Millers, brand new ones he's got, and all this fancy shit they got, and all the wonderful stuff they got for that program. But when it comes to kids, children, we're talking about children with disabilities who already are going to have a hard time to begin with. And now you're going to make it even more difficult because instead of giving them more attention and more help, you are struggling because you're spending money in ways that are unnecessary and benefit nobody. You aren't doing anything to help children that are going to inherit what we leave them. And whatever may be or may not be left might not be worth the shit. Because if you are incredibly reliant, overly reliant, or completely reliant on technology, and it ceases to exist, doesn't function, is inaccurate, or decides to turn on you, not work, you're fucked because you don't know shit. Nobody taught you anything. That's going to be an issue as well. Yeah, next issue is that you don't want to hear, and I'll tell you, number one, there's going to be a housing bubble. I'm going to say we'll be lucky if it doesn't happen this year, but don't be surprised when it happens early first quarter next year. Recession, by definition, hasn't happened, but if you don't think we're in a recession, you're lying to yourself. Third, there's going to be another bubble. It's going to be this AI bubble slash tech bubble because it's unsustainable. It's losing money, and it's too early for it. You're not ready. You put the product out the market that is irresponsible of you as the creator of it, and it should not be here because it is not helping people learn, especially our young people. They're not learning anything by using technology, asking their phone a question and having an answer, and whatever that answer is what is accepted. I can ask my phone who the first president was. I can ask most people who the first president was, and I guarantee you most people won't get the answer right. They're going to say the same thing. And no, it's not George Washington. If I told you that the United States of America, under the Continental Congress in 1774 before 1776, while the drafting of the Constitution, along with the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, etc., was going on, there were 14 people that were named president that served 1 year terms or were elected and didn't serve, et cetera, et cetera. But there were 14 of them before George Washington. And yes, it was the United States. Dun, dun, dun. That's how it happened. That's not revisionist history. That's fact. So you're going to look it up yourself. Look up the Intolerable Acts, which is a response to the defiance of the Massachusetts colony or the state of Massachusetts. You know it as the Boston Tea Party. And then you got the Intolerable Acts to punish the state of Massachusetts, which brought on the formation of the First Continental Congress, in which the drafting of the Articles of Confederation, along with the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, Constitution, etc. was all going on at the same time. This all began in 1774 by George Washington, the first official president under the Constitution that we are currently under, that's been revised slightly since then, took office in 1889 until 1897. And he did serve his 2 terms. The only president that served more is going to be Roosevelt, served 4 terms, and I'm talking about Franklin FDR. And he died early during the course of his 4th term, which drew in Truman. Prior to that, he had 2 other vice presidents, one who, whatever. The other one, his name was Henry Wallace. Henry Wallace was supposed to be the next president. A lot of people believe he was the one that should have been the next president. In no way, shape, form, or fashion, if you do any research on Henry Wallace, would you ever think that he would drop a bomb like Truman did? Now, I'm not saying what Truman did was right or wrong. I wasn't around back then. Did it save American lives? Did it end the war? Yeah. Did it cost a lot of Japanese lives? Yeah. Was it right? I don't know. I don't believe so. Was the country decimated enough to where a war of attrition, cutting off a supply chain, and not being able? There was nothing there. It was gone. It was gone. So just what it is. It is what it is, but sometimes it is what you make it. And it's not out here to be negative. I just want to share this information with you because nobody else is going to sit here and tell you the truth. They'll put up a bunch of bullshit statistics and tell you a bunch of bullshit facts, what you one way. I want you to make your own decision, have your own opinion, and base it on the truth and actual, real data, not a bunch of shit that you can't prove or disprove. So, you'll find out for yourself. But Wallace was progressive, very popular. He wanted good relations with communist countries, which sounds crazy, I know. He wanted health care. He wanted reform, civil rights. He was a huge advocate. He sounds like somebody that we ought to have around right about now because he'd probably do really well. Right now, leadership-wise, every administration since Reagan, look up what the national debt was prior to Reagan, and then see what Reagan did with the national debt and this trickle-down economics, and then see what every other president and every other administration has done, other than lower the taxes on the rich to, I believe, 28% now from 70% when Reagan took office. And aside from that, we got, it's a buddy system. It's WWE. You guys act like they don't like each other. They act like they hate each other. They fight. Different party this, different party that. Nobody else is allowed. Nobody else can debate. Ross Perot was the last one to be able to do it. It's all the same party. It's the fucking uniparty. Just different people in it. That's it. Kind of like Neo and the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill. Did you ever stop and think, what if the only difference in the pills was the shit that was inside, the color? What's inside is exactly the same. The outside's only skin deep. You know what I'm saying? So it really wouldn't have mattered what Neo took. It would have been the same outcome ultimately, because you can't escape fate and you can't escape destiny. That's true. You know what else you can't escape? Karma. When karma catches up to you, that's a motherfucker. Especially if you fucked up enough and fucked around with the wrong people, that's gonna eat your ass up alive, brother. You're gonna fuck. That's not me telling you. I can't even fucking walk. So, I'm not creeping up on anybody. Shit. My days of doing things that one would consider illegal, perhaps even criminal, are far, far removed. How bad was I? I get asked that all the time. And this is what I say. I was bad enough that I am Jewish. All right. I had to get baptized. Just to give you an idea. So, yeah. But yeah, baptized, no complaints. Judeo Christian. Some people don't like that, but Jesus was always a Jew. Just saying. I'm just saying. You know, religion, it's important, it's missing, but at the same time, it should not be shoved down your throat every chance you get or somebody gets. Now, I do post a Bible verse every morning, and I will continue to do so. Even if I decide, you know what, Max, I'm not doing this shit anymore, and I'm tired of it, which I'm not going to do. If I commit all the way. I don't half-ass it. Now, do you sit here and see me making fucking high quality fucking videos? No, I don't enjoy that. That's not why I'm here. I want to go live. No, I cut some shorts and I move on. Post a Bible prayer. I want to talk about tools. I was going to show some off tonight, but I don't have the energy. But I got some super cool. There's a stack. Doesn't matter. I've got a delivery coming on. Supposed to be here yesterday, but shit got fucked up, so I'll be here on Tuesday. Then I will be able to hopefully be able to walk. My braces on like I'm Forrest fucking Gump. And yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow should be interesting. I think tomorrow will be very interesting. If it's interesting enough, I'll get on. It should be interesting, but we'll see. I don't know. Might not be anything. We'll see. I don't want to say anything. But I want to start doing, the giveaways. Like I said, I want to be able to encourage people to get into trades, whether it's an electrician or a plumber or HVAC or it's mechanic. I don't care what you do. You can do roofs, you do construction, you do carpentry, masonry. It doesn't matter. We need more skilled trade workers out there. I already told you about what happened at Sears and the complex they built in Illinois. Irresponsible spending by an irresponsible company that did so much irresponsible shit. That brings the parallel of Harbor Freight. And it's not me saying things bad about Harbor Freight because I honestly have no beef with Harbor Freight. Back when I still had my Goodyear in the early 2000s, late 90s, we went to Harbor Freight a lot. And back then, there was Harbor Freight and there was Cummins Tools. Those were the two cheap places to go buy tools, throwaway tools. That's what we called them. They were just cheap throwaway tools. You wouldn't necessarily call them junk because there's no such thing as a junk tool. If a tool functions, it's doing its job. That's what it's designed to do. But they were very inexpensive, so it didn't bother you if you broke them. And then I'm trying to remember if Cummins had the same return policy. I don't recall, but I want to say they did. They had a different kind of setup, but it was more or less exactly the same. They carried other things, like they had flooring they carried, and then they would buy some liquidated stuff, and they would sell that in addition to what Harbor Freight sells. But anyway, Harbor Freight ended up coming out on top. I haven't seen a Cummins tool in years, so I don't know if they're around. If you want to look them up, go ahead. Cummins tool. Anyway, and I had a good year. There was a Harbor Freight that was a 40 highway in Mellon Road. I was on 23rd Street, 291, so it took me about 15 minutes to get there. There was some traffic. And I had a chance to meet Eric Schmidt, who's the owner. Met him on several occasions. The reason I met him was because he would go to the stores. He didn't have as many stores as he has now, and he was close. They were still selling very inexpensive tools, very cheap tools. And he would come and he would check on the stores, he would check on his employees. And, you seem like a nice guy. I really can't say anything bad about it. I can't. And the employee that I had working for me at the time, that now also moved on, works in the dealership, been there for a long time. His wife worked at Harbor Freight, and that's why I would go there. I was able to get a discount with her, discount, her employee discount, and walked in there a couple different times, and he was there. So met him, introduced myself. That was that. So, but yeah, Harbor Freight came out on top. The one thing that I don't understand, but I understand, if you Sears made the same mistake. Yeah, you have a physical location. You're opening up 2 stores a week. That's great. That's extremely fast growth. But if you rely and have a supply chain and the logistics are coming from a China is not close. Okay, it is not down the street. You can't just drive to China. You can't. If somebody told you can just go to China like that, it's not that simple. So the one thing that if it were me and I would do as Harbor Freight, which would pay off because you would draw in a different customer because you're making and manufacturing tools here. You would create jobs here, and ultimately you would have a better reputation, better brand, and that would carry into the future. So, and that opens up a lot of doors because Harbor Freight has plenty of money. They're a private company. They don't have to disclose anything. So you can get some information online about Harbor Freight and some of their financials, but at the same time, you can do a little bit of math and figure out how much they do. I worked there for a short time. I didn't get deep into the books, but I know that during the course of a day, they would make about 20 to 25,000. Easy, no problem. Easy. So at that time, they weren't quite as expensive as they were now. They were just coming out with a lot of the brushless stuff, so it was still relatively affordable as opposed to this now. There were still discounts, and if you didn't know this, do this for customer satisfaction. Ask for a discount; they will give you a discount. That is company policy. You didn't hear it from me. You just heard it from your boy Mad Max. That's who you heard it from. So if they ask and say it was Mad Max, okay, who the fuck is a Mad Max? And in fucking 70s movie, fucking dog in a super cool car. Yeah, pretty much, except this one was fucking handicapped and retired and talk shit about Max. I've probably talked about 12 different topics in the course of the last 54 minutes and 39 seconds. I'm going to make it to an hour because I like at least an hour. And I feel like I still have a whole lot for saying. I'm going to do this all night. I'm not going to, because I'd rather save it. So late this week, that little frustration, get some things off my chest, and hopefully have some interactions with individuals. And if you haven't done so already, and if you're at all interested and want to give me an opportunity to earn your business, which I would love, and when I say business, I mean your viewership. When I say viewership, I mean your subscription. When I say your subscription, I'm saying join this community and help it grow. It means a lot to me. And, do I take it serious? Is it a job? No, but I don't have a whole lot to do right now. So it's a good opportunity to listen to a few things that I have to say, hear what I've been through, and perhaps some of the things that I talk about might resonate with you. And you get that bond, that connection to where I become relatable. You understand where I'm coming from and vice versa. At that point, you get to a level to where maybe you want to come on the show and talk about something, but maybe we have the same tool brand account. Maybe you're a big Makita fan, Hypertone fan. Maybe you like Cobalt. Maybe you're just a Sure Vaughn guy. I don't know. And it's just one example. But to close this Harbor Freight thing off, what they need to do, if it were me and I was thinking long term, seeing the forest past the trees, I would invest or reinvest my money here in the United States at the cost of lower wages, which would in turn allow me to cherry pick, get better employees, and get skilled individuals that know how to make quality tools. And right now, you have an opportunity. If that money hungry, no good company, the stock market as SWK, I know him as Stanley Works. You also might know him as Stanley Black and Decker or Stanley Plus Black and Decker. They bought from Sears. This is one of the stupidest fucking things ever. They bought from Sears. Harassment. What did they get? They got 9 letters at $100 million per letter. So they spent $900 million for a name. A fucking name? Shit. Yeah. Can't make this shit up. And what do? They ruined it just like they ruined Porter Cable, just like they ruined Black and Decker, just like they ruined Bostitch, just like they ruined McCullough, just like they ruined pretty much everything that they've touched. That's more than a coincidence. That's a pattern of not giving a fuck about what it is that you're holding on to. If you're not tool people, then give it to somebody who is. Give it to Harbor Freight, sell them Craftsman, sell them that $90 million shuttered factory that was my breaking point with spending any more money, you sorry assholes, because you broke a promise. Not to me. You broke a promise to the people of this country. You broke a promise to America. You promised to bring manufacturing back by building a plant for $90 million. You did that. And then you put in Belarusian equipment that didn't do its job. And then you don't follow up and have it taken care of. You don't go ahead and, you know what, let's melt this shit down. Just put in some old school shit and get some guys that know what they're doing. I just don't understand the thinking. Where is the forward thinker? Where is the person that could repurpose a cruise ship or a cargo vessel into something and be able to maintain it? Yes, it's expensive, but you know what else? So is housing the homeless and feeding the homeless. This gives them an opportunity to have a place to stay. It's got every amenity you could think of. And if it's managed properly and taken care of and there's a plan put in place, a repurposed cruise ship has everything you need. Cargo vessels, barges, tankers. I mean, as far as like cargo hold, you're talking about steel. If you tear one of those down, tear it apart, you have a steel that has been hardened and formed. All you need to do is shape it, and you're just stamping it at that point, and you've got your own made in the USA product. As far as you know, the fucking parts are USA too at this point in time. Fuck it. But no. Those are stupid ideas. We'll let Turkey do it. What the fuck? They make a killing on it. Is it easy work? Fuck no. It takes probably about a year or so, I believe, to disassemble a cruise ship and, cargo ships. Uh, you, as far as things like that, everything takes a little more time, especially these cruise ships. They take a lot more time because it's a lot more layers and it's built in, it's compact versus a cargo hold, which is a big empty space designed to hold things, which makes them, both excellent candidates to be repurposed, not sent out to be scrapped. Just stop with the poor ideas. Before you decide to spend any more money that doesn't belong to you, like Mark Walter buying the fucking Lakers, money that you don't have just because you own the bank and own the insurance company, everything in between, that doesn't make what you did legal. In less than a year to make $2.5 billion off money that wasn't yours was absolutely positively fucking criminal and irresponsible. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You had no way to pay any of that shit back if that deal didn't go the way it did. And there's still no guarantee that deal is gonna fucking gain a return because you got a shitty team. Sorry, just being honest with you. But you have a better team than you did with LeBron, so I'll give you that much. At least you got rid of that fucking headache. Uh, Sports arrested, new scandal every day. It's fucking crazy. And you got fucking Deshaun Watson over Shador Sanders. I don't know what the fuck. It's Cleveland, so I guess that makes sense somehow. Somebody, Cleveland, I don't know. I guy at one point had more charges against him than Bill Cosby, I think. There's another one, yeah. Fucking people grew up watching Bill Cosby and my Joe, this is Joe. Moving on to Joe and you're the old lady. Mm-hmm. She won everything. That's not cool, bro. We don't do that shit. That's it. If female don't want to do that, we leave her alone. Move on to the next. It's okay to have somebody tell you no. What's not okay is to react like a fucking lunatic and do some dumbass shit. I understand about getting angry. I've been angry before. I'm angry right now. But at the same time, I can control myself and be composed. Now, if I'm angry, I'm in pain, and I'm doing something that's causing me more pain, then I'm a whole lot more verbal. There's a lot more bass in my voice. And some people have told me that I'm frightening. As to whether or not that's true, I don't know. Because it almost gets to a point to where people say this expression, you see red. But yeah, it gets like that. And that's why I'd rather be left alone in some cases. But anyway, I know I've been all over the place with, history. Uh, yeah, excuse me. Fucking Nixon took us off the gold standard. Shit. Petrodollar's a fucking lie. It's all greed. All greed. Fucking They Live was a documentary. Everything else is bullshit. Challenger blew up. I'm not sure about the moon. Don't know. Probably. Russia didn't say no. I don't know. China goes all the time. They probably got a fucking base. They're probably friends with fucking alien, gray, white, all Aryan, fucking hybrid, fucking locust people. I have no idea. With guacamoles for heads. I don't know. Maybe a cactus for arms. I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. I don't know. I don't care. But I know this. I'm taking this fucking medication. Oh shit. That I'm feeling like landing the plane. I think it's time to take her down. I appreciate you tuning in, listening to me rant and rave. Oh, here's another one for you. Noriega, Manuel Noriega, by the way. And he was a dictator that the CIA they put in power. he would film and record sessions of the CIA in private rooms. And what he would record the CIA doing, American, CIA, like that CIA, yeah. He would record them doing things with underage prostitutes. Yeah, sounds incredible, huh? Yeah, totally true. That's a whole other fucking rabbit hole. And by the way, if I end up fucking aced, I didn't do it to myself. These motherfuckers did. Don't be fooled. I wouldn't do that to me, not to anybody else. Not anymore. Fuck that shit. I got shit to do. I got the future. I'm trying to get out, work again. I'm trying to get well. I'm trying to get healed. To the best of the ability of modern medicine. The right hands, it can be done. I'm saying I'm not going to be disabled anymore, but at least I can do something. And, don't give up. Somebody put you down, make you feel bad. Fuck them. You don't need to be around them anyway. They weren't worth a shit. You got somebody work you don't like, somebody gives you a hard time, boss is an asshole. You know what? You don't have to put up with that. You're better than that. Fuck them. You might have been raised a certain way to have morals. So was I. But you know what? You're not going to treat me like dog shit. We can have this conversation. But if it doesn't go anywhere, it happens again. Listen, bitch, I don't want to fuck you up. I'm out. All right? Even though I recommend that you get fired. That way you have unemployment. But I'm just saying, ultimately, you want to get fired. Call a motherfucker bitch and I get fired. Like, all right, whatever. I clocked out one time, told my boss in front of the owner, this motherfucker's got literal fucking dog shit in between his fucking ears, inside of his fucking skull. Instead of a brain, he's got a big hot pile of dog shit. I was off the clock. I'm a private motherfucking citizen now, bitch. I don't work for you right now. Because I'm employed here doesn't mean I'm on the clock, and I'm not on the clock, so I'm not at work. Now, if I'm telling you got dog shit for your fucking brain, there's a reason behind it. And that's another episode. You should have watched it. Some visions. I'll get back. I can tell you work stories that make you fucking, what the fuck? Yeah, shit. I don't want to get into the snake eye stories, but I had a quick snake eye story. No, I'll do another one. I'll do a Hondo Brian story. So Hondo and Brian, these two fucking knuckleheads worked for me at the Goodyear as mechanics. Hondo was more of a general service type guy. And yes, his real name was Hondo. His parents were real big John Wayne fans and huge fans of the movie fucking Hondo. And if you've never seen it, then watch, especially if you like John Wayne and westerns. That motherfucker beat cancer like 38 times. That tough old dude right there. Anyway, Brian was more of a mechanic and not strongest on diagnostic, but as far as basic things go, your front ends, things like that, steering, suspension, tires, water pumps, depending on the water pump and depending on the vehicle, alternators, timing belts, depending on the vehicle. He was not AC at all. He didn't know how to use an AC machine. I could show him, but it's like he just didn't get it. You try and take off a press before you fucking make sure the system's empty. Anyway, both of these guys are raging fucking alcoholics. I also did a little bit of drinking. Every day after work, there's a place called Fat Chance. Fat Chance. It's bar and grill. Pricing now. Anyway, so we went to Fat Chance. They had fucking music. They had live band on certain nights. They had cheap beer, drinks. They had women. Most of them fat women. A lot of fat women. So there's real good chance you get a fat girl. There's nothing wrong with that. Loving a fat girl. People are married. She's not either. She was try as you want. Still love her. But anyway, we go there and we get shit out of her trunk. One time we went there. These two idiots go to the bathroom. Now, it's probably been like 5 minutes. Now I need to get this too. So I can tell them fucking Mark, take this. Go to the bathroom. These two retards are in the fucking stall, pissing on each other on accident because they're so fucking drunk they can't stand. So they fall down with their dicks out with fucking like, two fucking statues in the fucking water fountain. Just fucking piss spray. I'm looking at this shit. Fucking going on his left. I left them because these two piss-ridden motherfuckers are not going to get in my fucking vehicle. Sorry. It wasn't happening. Captain Piss and his fucking sidekick fucking piss all over the place. They get picked up by Brian, the more mechanic one, and his wife Renee ended up picking them both up. And I told her, like, hey, lay down some fucking thing you never want to fucking look at again because these motherfuckers make them strip or something. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Covered in piss. They pissed on each other. I don't know how to explain it to you otherwise, other than the fact that they're that fucked up. But I don't ever know what happened to Hondo. I'm not sure. He also didn't have any fucking teeth. He had false teeth, but he never wore them. He didn't like the way they make them look. So he had gums. Instead of having teeth, he thought that the gums made him look better. I didn't feel the same way. But there again, I didn't give a fuck. If he didn't want to wear his fucking teeth, don't wear your fucking teeth. Just don't fucking talk to any fucking customers for any reason. Ever. And Brian, he kind of spiraled a little bit. And one night, this was after he stopped working for me, and he went off and worked somewhere else. He was heavily intoxicated after drinking for the entire day. It was late at night, and then it was, I believe it was late fall, maybe early winter, and he was intoxicated driving. Cop was pulling him over and gets out of the car, and where he stops was right in front of a bridge. And he runs, and then he jumps off the bridge. Now, he thought it was just like a little 10-foot drop off. It was more like 100-foot drop. And no, he did not make it. He died drunk as shit, jumping off of a bridge, running from the police because he got pulled over and he had a warrant for fucking child support. Fucking can't make the shit up. If you want to look it up, his name is Brian Thompson. Or Brian Thomas. This was probably back in, if I'm doing my math, let's say 04, 05. Missouri. Man jumps off bridge running from cops. I guess that's what you would probably look up. Like that. That's just the last thing for tonight. Tonight was just kind of a freestyle, free for all. See how long I can filibuster. Not too bad. My knees still fucking hurt, but you know what? At least I was able to continue to do what I committed to, and that's all I can do is keep my word. So thank you again for the opportunity, for the viewership. Please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, and if you like it, like it. If you don't, that's okay too. Let me know why. I appreciate it. I wish you nothing but the best. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk again soon. It's your boy,